Hello, and welcome to the next module covering Standard 2, Curriculum and Instruction. As noted in the module previously, Standard 2 is the heart of what COMTA does as a specialized accrediting agency. Therefore, this is our longest standard, and it does require the most work of all of them. Standard 2 includes 7 different components. The first is Programmatic Objectives, Curriculum Design, Syllabi, Methods of Instruction and Evaluation, Clinic and Fieldwork, Externships, if offered, and Learning and Library Resources. This module is going to cover the first 4 components of that. The next module, they'll look at the last 3. So let's get started with Standard 2, Section A, Programmatic Objectives. Every program that you offer does have to have clearly stated published objectives. Now this is for different programs, so if you have more than one program, you must have different objectives for each. Now these should be consistent with the institutional mission that was provided earlier. And programmatic objectives should be stated in measurable terms, because these are going to be used to evaluate program effectiveness in Standard 8. And these programmatic objectives then provide a roadmap to the curriculum and the instruction and the evaluation. So this is why we start here. They should be integrated consistently. So what students will know and be able to do at the end of your program. You don't have to have as many as in the competencies. They may just be a few stated to describe the program and the overall objectives. Standard 2B gets into curriculum design, and this has 4 parts to it. One is the COMTA competencies we already dealt with. The other is how the curriculum is organized, the curriculum length, as well as the content of the curriculum. And we're not going to cover the COMTA competencies as that was done in the prior module, so we would refer you to the competency charts again for questions with that. So curriculum organization. Your curriculum should be organized with the following in mind. The first is that COMTA requires separate and discrete courses. So it can't just be a 600-hour course. These can be organized by content area. So you may have a massage course, advanced massage, clinic, business, anatomy and physiology, etc. But it can also be more integrated and maybe organized by term. So you would have first term, second term, third term, for example. It can also be a combination. We'll look at how that works in the lessons. But each course then should have a clear learning objectives, probably more than one. And the courses do need to be designed for systematic and sequential learning so that there are prerequisites identified and enforced. This allows students to make sure they have the foundational knowledge before moving on to more advanced knowledge. Program length. Now the program length should take the following into consideration. Your mission and objectives of the institution. Obviously local licensing requirements. COMTA requires a minimum of 600 hours, so everything does need to be above that. And then this standard also looks at the standard academic measures. This is where we're looking at clock hour definition, as well as if you use credits for academic purposes, clock hour to credit conversion calculations. Now the Commission has developed a standard academic measurement policy. This can be found on our website and gets into more details on the requirements of that. Again, the course will also deal with some of those details, the written lessons to follow. Now the curriculum content, the requirements of the standard require that the curriculum content take in the following in consideration. The mission and objectives of the institution, the local licensing requirements, historical foundations in the fields of massage, bodywork, or aesthetics, recent developments in the field, sound educational models and current learning theories, and as noted earlier, the COMTA competencies. Standard 2C deals with syllabi, because the syllabi is the documentation. for the curriculum. So this is what the reviewers are going to use. It's also very important that these be developed for consistent implementation of the curriculum between instructors as well as between terms and years. They should be provided to students at the beginning of a course, and COMTA does have a syllabus checklist available on its website which has specific requirements that should be incorporated into these syllabi. Standard 2D is methods of instruction and evaluation. So if we're looking at instructional methods, these are some of the details of the standard. It should be appropriate to the content being taught. Definitely meeting the needs of diverse learners. Encouraging participation, and this standard does now include reference to the student-teacher ratio being reasonable to meet the needs of the learners. And that can be different with lecture and lab. COMTA does not prescribe a particular ratio, but it does require that this be published and enforced. So as tied to instructional methods then are of course evaluation methods. And the details for this standard include that the evaluation methods be clearly published, so there's measurable performance standards that are provided to students in the syllabus so they know what will be expected of them. Assessment should include both written and obviously hands-on evaluation methods. And when using hands-on evaluation methods, we recommend the use of checklists or rubrics so that students know what's expected of them. The evaluation methods should be directly correlated and reflect the learning objectives of the course. They should be implemented consistently, and students should be receiving timely and regular feedback. Now again, the course lessons will deal with these standards in more detail. We will also look at some tips for completing your self-study report. So have your questions ready, get any materials from the website you need, and we'll get ready to take the course. If you have any further questions, you may contact the COMTA office. Thank you.